and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
On this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025. Today. Just one the other way. It gets no going back. Gets the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Darby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
You can say it's too.
Well, hello there. Happy Monday to all my Pitchfork Lunch peeps. What is going on? Yes, it is Monday. It was a wonderful holiday weekend. It was a wonderful holiday weekend. Hanging with the fam, chilling, eating a lot of phenomenal food. Shout out to my sister, a wonderful sister Lisa, who is an ASU master's student now. So, as you guys know, that long, wonderful journey. Getting another, I should say, master's degree, but from the right university. But I am Michael Kirstenito at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys know and love. And you can check out Show Live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. A little bit of a late start today, as I don't know what happened, but everything reset. So, and it's even before the new year. So that's crazy enough in and of itself. But nonetheless, yes, check the show out live Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, you can check it out on the good old IG, my friends. Yes, if you just go to it's michael.carrotanudo.5. So yes, go to the IG, michael.carrotanudo.5. As you guys see, it's had a dot between the first and last name, and then the .5. Bam, you can watch it there. And Pitchfork Lunchers, yes, I know it's been a minute since, as long as you enjoy the holiday, Christmas and holiday weekend with your families, and I hope you did. Hit me up with some comments. Let me know what Santa Claus brought you, what you did with your family, all that good stuff. Definitely want to hear from you, Pitchfork Lunchers, what went on. I'm sure you watch a lot of football, bowl games, and then the NBA. Hey, you know what? Hit me up in the comments before we talk more about YouTube, and let me know what you thought of the let me know what you if you watch NBA, or what you thought of the Christmas Day triple header of football, because that, as we know, was crazy. Pro football. Obviously, bowl games going on too. Which been your favorite game of bowl season? Don't be bashful with that so far. Although the most favorite game, Pitchfork Lunchers, is coming right up, right? The wonderful Sun Bowl, the Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, in which the Sun Devils will be playing Duke, the ACC champs. Yes, the 8-5 ACC champs, as they'll be taking on Duke. As you guys know, also men's hoops does not get rolling back up until January 3rd. So after the new year, again, a little bit of time away, and after that last tough loss against Oregon State, the Sunday doubleheader at DFA, which again was phenomenal, men's and women's doubleheader hoops, as you guys all know. That was absolutely money. Well, except again, they fell short. But again, this team, the way Coach Rowley has them playing, again, we'll get into it. We're going to talk a little more Sun Bowl, and obviously women's hoops, the 14-0 Sun Devil women, who will start. They play. They play at Utah on New Year's Eve. So Wednesday at 2 p.m. They're at Utah, and then Saturday they're in Provo. Yes, they are in Provo taking on BYU, continuing Big 12 play. Again, 14-0, 1-0 in the Big 12. And yes, guys, I know you still know this, but obviously teams on a little bit of a hiatus, but getting back going this week. As the rankings, by the way, as again, ASU got 7 votes the last thing, but I think games are going to get rolling. Let's see. There actually are games today. There are games. So women's hoops getting back going today. Number 17 Nebraska taking on number 20 Nebraska taking on number 17 USC in a Big Ten battle there. I know it's still odd to call that a Big Ten battle, right? So yes, a lot of teams, ranked teams. Some ranked teams playing today, and then tomorrow as well. Tomorrow and then New Year's Eve, like I said, when the women play in Utah. Yeah, that's a 2 p.m. game. Arizona will be, that team down south will be taking on Colorado, who, of course, ASU beat. But again, and then number 21 Texas Tech will be taking on UCF. So Big 12 play getting rocking there for you guys. Oklahoma State's going to take on number 22 Baylor on New Year's Eve. So again, and number 1 UConn plays Providence that day too. So in Cincinnati is taking on K-State. So number 10 Iowa State's at Houston. I didn't see. Did I mention TCU? Did I say TCU or no? I said Texas Tech. BYU. Yeah, number 8 TCU is at BYU. So yeah, Big 12 play will be rocking on New Year's Eve, and then again on January 3rd. Like I said, the women will be headed to Provo to continue Big 12 play. And then they're home for UCF, and then they go to number 8 TCU, and they come home for Kansas, and they trek across the country to play West Virginia and Cincinnati on the road, and then they come home to take on the team down south. As you guys know, that's January 28th, and then Kansas February 1st. So K-State, sorry, not Kansas, they take on K-State. And then they'll take on Oklahoma State at home. So a nice little 3-game home stretch there, January 28th, February 1st, and 4th. Then they go to, 22nd ranked Baylor, like I said, or 21st ranked Baylor, well, as of now. And then they have Utah at home. Then they go to Arizona on Valentine's Day. So, yes, we'll be down in Tucson for that. And then they go to Iowa State, and then they're home for Houston and BYU, and then they close out against a very tough Texas Tech team. So, but first things first, Utah, New Year's Eve, before we turn over to the new year. My Pitchfork Lunch peeps. So that is absolutely awesome. But hit me up in the comments. Let me know how your holiday was, if you rewatched any games. Guilty. I know I'm just going to raise my hands, say guilty, forks up to that. A few football, a few hoops, a few soccer. I've just, again, watched quite a few, and then even volleyball. This team, again, so exciting first half of the season. And we'll talk about that this week. But, again, obviously today we're going to jump more into the Sun Bowl. But, again, let me know. Hit me up in the comments, man. Don't be bashful. Let me know what you guys did. How your holiday was, what kind of great food you may have had, Again, my sister, brother-in-law put together some phenomenal, I know being Italian, but some phenomenal lasagna. So that was absolutely awesome. But yeah, hit me up. Let me know what you enjoyed, and then maybe what Santa brought you. Um, 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 yeah. So let me know what what Santa brought you, all that good stuff. And if you want to send me any Sun Devil stuff, you guys know I'm playing. But if you did, of course, I would, totally support it. So again, but anywho, yeah, let me know. But yeah, we'll talk. But yeah, we're gonna take a break, and then when we get back, we're gonna talk some Sun Bowl as the men get ready. Football team gets ready. So taking care of soccer men's hoops, but no, the football team gets ready for the game, and again, that in itself very, very awesome. So yes, we'll talk Sun Bowl, women's hoops, men's hoops, but yes, we will start with the Sun Bowl, and just again, team at the holidays, and I'm sure a lot of you saw Coach Dillingham's picture on Christmas Eve. This is when your wife tells you to grab the dinner, and it was up on the wall because obviously his sister is his neighbor. So that was pretty awesome, pretty cool to see that from Coach Dillingham, who definitely always talks about that. But yeah, so we'll take a quick break and we can get back live into the Sun Bowl here on Pitchfork Punch. What is up, my Pitchfork Punch peeps? Welcome back to Monday, the pre-New Year's Eve. I know, it's crazy, man. 2026 is going to be here in, obviously, 24, 48, and another, like 46 hours. That is crazy. It's crazy. And it was a hell of a year. Obviously, a fun year. It started off with, 2024 ended with, ASU winning the Big 12 championship and then going to New Year's Day, starting in the Peach Bowl and just falling short to Texas. But again, making the college football playoff, the inaugural 12-team playoff this year. Again, 8-4, chance to go 9-4 and win 20 games in 2 seasons, which again, to me, absolutely phenomenal. And when you look at it, I mean, again, and we've touched on the show. Again, I'm not going to go too obviously down that rabbit hole, but again, it's been a year of challenges, injuries to key players, like Coach Dillingham said, and Ben Coleman said, who was there. I mean, 4 of the 6 that were at Big 12 Media Day, unfortunately did not finish the season, which, again, definitely sucks. Again, nobody ever rooting for injury or anything like that, and you guys know that from me here. But, man, it's just, 8-4, insane wins back-to-back week over. I mean, they open up Big 12 play on the road. They beat Baylor. They beat TCU. They beat Baylor. They beat TCU. You beat Texas Tech at home. You look back through the whole season. I mean, that loss at Mississippi State, where, again, the first half was Mississippi State's, right? We know this. I'm not like SEC fan. You guys know we don't speak out of both sides of our mouth here. But the second half, they punched them in the mouth. They dominated. They were down 17 and they put up 20 unanswered. And then, yes, literally the last play of the game and the last drive of the game for Mississippi State is the only thing they had in the second half. But again, it was a play. They made the plays. They were 2 plays, really, 3 plays. But nonetheless, they win the game. That was a tough loss. Then you turn around and bounce back and you beat Texas State. And then you open up conference play. Like I said, you beat Baylor. And then you turn around. And, I mean, just think about it. To get to you turn around after. You beat NAU. I forgot to mention that. You beat NAU, lose Mississippi State, beat Texas State. You beat okay, so then you start a nice little win streak. You have a 3-game win streak. You beat Mississippi State, or you beat Texas State, you beat Baylor, you beat TCU, who's number 24 time. And you go to Utah and you just get trounced 42-10. Tough game. But then you turn around the next week and you beat Texas Tech 26-22. And then you have Houston at home, which, winnable game. Houston, again, a talented team, but a team that you'd think, we can, and they lose 24-16. Had a chance. Last drive to go and tie it up. But then you turn around the next week and you beat Iowa State on the road 24-19. You come home, you beat West Virginia 25-23. You whoop Colorado 42-17, and then again, still a chance for the Big 12. But then Arizona comes in, and that secondary and that defense, and I will call them Arizona because they won the game. You guys know, as much as it pains me, and as much as it tastes like vomiting crow, we'll call them that in respect for them winning the Territorial Cup game. But you look at that. And then, 23-7 was the final there. And then you take on Duke, obviously. And you go to the Sun Bowl, and we heard from Anthony Cooper, battling through all the injuries. But in 2019, he played in the game in which they beat Iowa. I want to say, no. What's your record? Florida. I want to say it was Florida State. The 1997 Sun Bowl was the 97 Sun Bowl coming off, obviously, New Year's Day. They had played in the Rose Bowl the year before, which fell to Ohio State, but then they turn around and beat a Big Ten team, smacked Iowa 17-7 in 97, which is Pat Tillman's last game. So yeah, they won in '97. In 2004, ASU beat Purdue 27-23. In 2014, ASU again a rematch of the 2014 game beat Duke 36-31, and it had 47,809 in attendance. So 792 yards of offense. So yeah, that was. But Quishy Brown, remember him? Had an interception that sealed it. I remember this game. But yeah, 36-31 victory over Duke. And then in 2017, well, NC State, yeah. NC State beat ASU 52-31. But Demario Richards, by the way, had a huge game. He had all 4 of the ASU touchdowns, and he won the MVP award as the Sun Bowl's most valuable player. Even though NC State did win the game 52-31, and then in 2019, ASU, like I said, beat Florida State 20-14. And that was in the 86th Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. But the Devils got the win there. And now, yes, they will take on Duke again, like I said, as they took on Duke in 2014. So, yeah, it's 11 years later taking on the Blue Devils again. And we would definitely love a 36-31 victory. We'll take that, right? The Big 12, by the way, so far in bowl games, BYU has beaten Georgia Tech 25-20, came back because they were down 21-10 at half. And then BYU scored the only 15 points in the second half, and that was in the fourth quarter. So 25-21, they beat Georgia Tech to end their season 12-2. Their only 2 losses to Texas Tech. And then Houston beat LSU in a shootout 38-35. Houston shutting out LSU in the second quarter because it was 14-7 after one. Then it was 21-14 at half in favor of Houston, and they both scored 7 in the third, and then LSU outscored them all 14-10 in the fourth. But Houston holds on for the 3-point 38-35 victory. So the Big 12 is 2-0 so far on New Year's Eve. Both, yes, we know the Sun Bowl, 8-4 ASU takes on 8-5 Duke, and then 10-2 Utah, number 15 in the country, takes on 7-5 Nebraska in the Las Vegas Bowl. As Kyle Whittingham stepping down and looks like retiring, and then very shortly, and then gets begged by Michigan, and Kyle Whittingham headed to Michigan. So very interesting. But nonetheless, Utah will take on Nebraska on New Year's Eve. And then on New Year's Day, January 1st, as you guys know, in the Orange Bowl, number 5, Oregon taking on number 4, Texas Tech. And that is at 10 a.m. on New Year's Day 10 a.m. our time. I was going to say, not 10 a.m. in Florida. So noon in Florida kickoff as Texas Tech will take on Oregon. And then Friday, January 2nd, the Big 12 wraps up its – that's in the college football playoffs, so Texas Tech wins. Obviously, they advance on. But Cincinnati will take on Navy at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis at 2:30 on the 2nd. And then the team down south, who is in the Holiday Bowl, in San Diego, will at 6 p.m., and that's on Fox, will take on SMU, and that'll wrap up. So, again, the Big 12 undefeated so far in bowl games, 2-0. And then, TCU is taking on USC, by the way. Sorry, tomorrow. I missed that one. So TCU will be taking on USC tomorrow in the Alamo Bowl in San Antonio, obviously. But, yeah, for the Sun Bowl guys, it's again, another bowl as to where the Devils again. And like you talk about getting those practices, and I know everybody had their say about Notre Dame and everything like that. But I mean, comparing these two teams, though, I mean, if we look at, I mean, Duke overall, they were fifth in total yards a game at 414.6 in the ACC. They were second in passing at 282.2 yards a game to SMU's 283.5. And let's see, that's offense. Rushing wise, let's see. They were 10th in rushing in their conference as 132.5 yards a game for Duke. So rushing the ball quite well. But again, when you're putting up, 282.5, you're second in passing, 282.2, yards a game. Don't want to put them up. And then, I mean, you look at SMU, who actually is taking on U of A, and SMU is passing for 283.5 yards a game. So it'll be interesting against that secondary. But nonetheless, Duke. So they were 10th in, like I said again, 5th in total yards, 414.6. Now, defensively, so Miami led the conference with only allowing 13 points a game. Duke gave up, 28.7 points a game. So they were 13th. Yeah, they were 13th. Oh, they were 13th, giving up 28.7 points a game. It's just in their conference. So, yeah. They can be scored on. They were 13th. And then let's see, also yards allowed. Of course, you see why Miami should have been in the championship game, because they only allowed 281.5 yards a game. That was tops in the league. Duke, they were 14th. They allowed 409.2 yards a game to Duke, being 14th in that. And then sack leaders. Funny, Miami led every single defensive category in ACC, and sacks they had 41. But Duke, they were 10th with 26 sacks, tied for ninth with 26 sacks, tied with Georgia Tech. And then when you look at from an individual standpoint, and again, that's what I have to make sure. I have to see who's playing. Darian Mensah, the quarterback of Duke, led the ACC in yards in passing with 3,646. And then Nate Shepard of Duke actually was second in the ACC, just under 1,000 yards, 962. Jamari Taylor of UVA was the only, and again, not easy to do, I'm saying, but 1,000-yard rusher. He had 1,062 yards, so he had 100 more yards than Nate Shepard of Duke. But I will let you know. I'll update that look tonight and update you tomorrow on who's playing and who's not. And then receiving-wise, Cooper Barkate of Duke had 1,069 receiving yards. He was second in the ACC to Deuce Robinson of Florida State, who had 1,081. And then Jacob DeJesus at Cal had 1,029. So, Cooper Barkate, you have to look out for. Nate Shepard, again, rushing, receiving, and a quarterback who has no problem slinging the ball all over the field. Let's see, defensively, tackles wise, Duke didn't have anybody in the top 5 or sacks. Or let's see, highest interceptions for Duke. Oh, well, Duke had the three players tied for 13th with 2 interceptions. Chandler Rivers, Musa Kane, and Trey Freeman. So, that is, but yeah. But yes, and Ricardo Jones of Clemson and Bryce Fitzgerald of Miami both had 6 interceptions to lead the ACC in that. So, yeah, I mean, but yeah, they're and ASU's in the Big 12, by the way. Sam, I know you know ASU's in the Big 12. It's not what I was saying, Pitchfork, but get a good laugh out of that. Well, ASU was 3rd in the conference in rushing yards per game at 189.4. Utah had 269.8, and Texas Tech had 190.9. So, yeah, Utah ran away with it. But that was 189.4 yards a game rushing. You'll take that. Total yards, though, ASU offensively was 7th in the conference at 400. They were over 400 and a half yards a game. And yeah, like I said, Texas Tech at 480, Utah with 478. Then you have Baylor at 451, TCU at 425, Cincinnati at 421, the team down south at 404, and the Devils at 400.5. So, like I said, they were 7th. 7th in the conference in yards per game. So, and with what they give up, what Duke gives up, not bad. Passing wise, ASU was 11th at 211.1 yards a game. Again, pretty tough to do. 17 total touchdowns to 8 interceptions, but 211. Baylor was at 309, TCU at 292, Texas Tech at 289, the team down south at 254, Cincinnati was at 242. So yeah, I mean, there were his challenges, but 8-4. That's what I say. Which again, very, very awesome. Well, okay, maybe you won't say very, very awesome, but again, a solid, very solid team. So, yeah, 211.1. Well, like I said, 11th. So, but like I said, they were also 3rd in the Big 12 in rushing 189.4 yards a game. So, I mean, you're sitting in their neighborhood almost hitting 200 rushing yards a game. That's controlling a lot of clock, right, guys? As you know. So, offensively, defensively, points allowed, Texas Tech was tops at 10.9. Insane. ASU they were 7th, allowing 23 points a game. You got Texas Tech at 10.9, Utah at 18.7, and then Arizona at 18.9, BYU at 19.1, Iowa State at 20.2, or no, Iowa State, 20.2, Houston at 22.8, and then like I said, the Devils at 23. Yeah, that was 23 points a game, but still, I mean, 0.2 behind Houston, so still 7th. So giving up less points than what Duke is giving up. And then in yards allowed, ASU was 5th in the defensively was 5th in the Big 12 at 342.3. Again, you had Texas Tech down at 254.4. and everybody else above 300. So, but and then sacks wise, yeah, we know ASU was right there, and they were second in the league, 32. Texas Tech at 39. The Devils had 32. And so that again, much more than that. And then you had Marcel Hughes had 2. Keith Abney had 2. Anthony Cooper had 1. But for some reason, I don't see Clayton Smith. I don't see Prince Dorba. Okay, so that was crazy. Well, they had a lot, but I'm just saying 32. 32 is a team for the Devils. Willie Brown, again, second in their conference in rushing, 1,141 yards, again, declared for the NFL, so obviously he's not playing in the game. Well, I shouldn't say obviously. He's not playing in the game, though. Yeah, second in the Big 12 to LJ Martin of BYU, who had a hell of a season. So, yeah. And by the way, tackles, defensively, Keyshawn Elliott was 5th in the conference with 98 tackles. So that in and of itself is, again, heck of a thing. So looking forward to the Sun Bowl on New Year's Eve, 2 days away. Yes. But we'll have more tomorrow, talking more ASU, talk Sun Bowl tomorrow. Also talk, obviously, ASU hoops as, like I said to you guys, as the women will be, they play New Year's Eve. They play New Year's Eve, sorry, 31st, not the 29th, the 31st. Holy moly. All right, there we are. Sorry about that. Just about to get out of here, though. All I was going to say is have a most phenomenal rest of your Monday. we'll hit more hoops. Obviously, you know, they play tomorrow. We'll hit more men's and women's hoops, start reviewing the year, and obviously a little bit more of the Sun Bowl, letting you know who I find out from is playing from Duke and also from ASU. So, well, you already know who's in quite a few who aren't playing from ASU, but yes. So I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Again, hit me up more in the comments. I love what you let me know what you guys enjoyed eating over the holiday weekend, and as New Year's is coming up, what your plans might be, or any suggestions for me, because I really have nothing planned. So any suggestions for me? So I will, yes. But again, at Diablo00 on X, or as known as Twitter, and my IG, Michael.Kirk3.5, and the YouTube channel. Again, guys, go to YouTube. You know how to get there. You have missed a plethora of phenomenal con reviews. Again, whether it be coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, it is all here for you. And you can just go to YouTube, subscribe, binge watch season 1 as you keep watching season 3, then binge watch season 2, and then you'll see when I have obviously guests on that I've had on multiple times. We just don't talk about the same things. We have a lot of fun with it. So nonetheless, have a phenomenal rest of your Monday. I will see you tomorrow, same bat time, same bat channel. And yes, as always, go Devils. Oh, and by the way, as you know, it is #our state as the reigning back-to-back Big 12 volleyball champs. Women's volleyball team reminded me it is #our state. So yes, that's for all of you down south there. And you guys know it. As always, go Devils. And of course, Forks up.
I went to Arizona State.
Rod.
I went to Arizona State.
Rod.
I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Cool, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levitt swings it to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again.
Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
This defense here. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
The other way. Still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down. Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt 3 right on the money.